Hello there. Happy Thursday evening, everybody. Welcome into another This is My Bourbon Podcast live stream. I'm Perry. I am the host of This is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm very happy to have everybody in for the second week of the return of the live stream. I hope that everybody is doing well out there in quarantine land, in COVID land, and we're gonna hang out tonight, have some drinks, and just be chill, enjoy some time together. So welcome in everybody who is here. Zopher, Trev Wilson, handsome man, Donnie, Linux Cat, Chad Hawley. Thank you to everybody who is here. All of my all of my moderators. I appreciate you guys being in here. Really do. Really am just happy to see you all. Brandon is here. Welcome in, Brandon. Matt from ADHD Whiskey. Cheers to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Don Nishida, all the way from Hawaii. Perry Ritter with 1 T. Yes. Brian says that Tammy says that my hair is on point tonight. Well, thank you. I just kind of rolled out of bed this morning. So, are you talking about this point though? Because if you're talking about this point, that wasn't my doing. That was an accident. So I'm starting out the evening by enjoying. Maybe I could, if I got on mic, you would be able to hear what I was saying. By enjoying this Old Forester 86 proof 4-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, all the way from the Old Forester distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. This is from 1996, I do believe. And this was one of my first Dusties, if not my first Dusty. So, a couple things up top. First of all, thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode. It seems like it's been very well received so far. I appreciate you guys doing that. Also, a couple of really cool things that happened this week. We crossed 100,000 downloads of all the episodes that we have released in the 2.5 years. In the 2.5 years that we've been doing the show. So thank you all so much for doing that. And then Does My Bourbon Podcast was named one of the top whiskey podcasts to listen to in the world right now, which is insanity. Just insanity. So that is in no small part to you all supporting the show, keeping it going. And yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm tickled. It's been a very cool week for the show, and I'm gonna drink to it. I'm gonna say cheers. Oh, good Dusty. That's a good clean Dusty right there. Yeah. So one thing that I want to mention up top, I didn't even mention it was in Whiskey Advocate. I apologize for that. I should have clarified who put the list out. It wasn't just some Joe Schmo saying, go listen to Perry and Curtis and Swan talk about bourbon for 2 hours a week. No, it was Whiskey Advocate. It was the magazine Whiskey Advocate. Floored is the only way I know how to put that, other than tickled and amazed and happy. I'll just say happy. Happy's a good feeling right now, especially considering the insanity that is outside in the world right now. So we're going to continue to try to be happy. I feel like I've been taking on Mr. Rogers vibe tonight. So we'll see if that continues. Donnie is about to try the Woodinville that arrived today. I will actually be trying that here in a little bit as well, Donnie. One thing I want to note as well, the channel is not up to 1,000 subscribers yet. So I cannot do live streams through YouTube. Or excuse me, super chats through YouTube. I can do live streams, as you can tell by me sitting here in front of you doing a live stream. I can't do super chats through YouTube. Instead, you use them through my PayPal link, which is in the description below this video. If you would like to check that out, it would be super appreciative. You can ask a question in there. I'll read it out on the show. or on the stream, and you go support the show, support me. Really appreciate everybody who does that anyway, especially it's something like Patreon. So cheers to you guys. Yeah. So I mentioned this Woodinville that had just arrived. This came from Joseph Brazo all the way out in Washington State. This is a Washington straight bourbon whiskey. I'm very excited about this one. I love Woodinville. They have done great things, in my opinion. I have not had a bad product from them, and I'm excited to take a deep dive into this one. This got to me before Washington went into lockdown. So thankfully, Joseph Brazo sent this to me. He said it was going to be an early birthday present, but he had to send it to me a little bit early. This is the Woodinville Bottled and Bond straight bourbon whiskey. It's 10 years old. 10 years old. So it's also an anniversary edition. Mash and Drum, Jason, hello there. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you as always. Jason, I think that we need to figure out what we might be able to do for this Saturday's live stream event, because we've got to do something now. We're 2 weeks in and nobody's got sports to watch. So maybe we need to have another big community live stream day, or some other channels hanging out. So ADHD Whiskey, that also goes to you. We'll talk about more of that here in a couple of days. So yeah, I'm going to be cracking this open here in just a bit. I'd actually like to kind of give a little bit of a review. I don't want to. I actually don't know the price on this, and I'm not going to look that up because this is a gift, and that is not fair of me to do. Don says a taco challenge, but Donnie, the Linux cat, says not another eating contest. I can confirm that we will not be doing another eating contest. I can't do that. Yes. Trev said, I will be there. Need another bourbon. Need our bourbon Saturday sports substitute. Agreed. Yes. Chad said, are we actually ready for another marathon? I am not sure I am. Maybe it won't be a marathon. Maybe we'll just have a whole bunch of us doing a 2 or 3 hour stream or something together. So we'll see. We'll see what we can kind of work up. I'm also now just realizing that this is the second week in a row that I have worn a podcast shirt. Last week I wore the Whiskey Weekend Batch 2 shirt, and this week I'm wearing the Buy Bar Pass shirt. So hopefully that's a sign of something else to come. I haven't chatted with those guys yet, but I would very much like to have them on an episode soon while we're all in quarantine, or on next week's live stream. So we'll see. Love Matt and Grease. Matt and Grease. Will and Grease. Will and Matt is who those guys are. Okay. Jason attempted with a 16 bottle of bond bourbon tournament last night. Holy moly. I would be on the floor. I would be in tears. I'm not that strong a man, Jason. You cannot tell me otherwise. Okay, let's try out this 10-year-old Woodinville bottled and bond Washington straight bourbon whiskey. Should I go Baby Glencairn, or should I go back to this? What do you call this? Snifter? Yeah. Or should I go back to the snifter? I'll let you guys decide. I'm curious if you think, oh, that was a nice little sound. Didn't do it as well that time. But yeah, come on, phone, work a little bit. Baby Glenn, says Brandon Weiss. Yes, that is how I say your name, Brandon, and we'll continue to say it. Nobody can change my mind. I am very excited about this this Woodinville. Baby Glenn, Baby Glenn, Baby Glenn. Funny. Clifton went to a tasting of Woodinville a few months back when he didn't know much about it. He said, I need to revisit it now that they've gotten so much attention. And boy, have they. As we like to say. Thanks, Fred. How the heck do you open this thing? You do you, boo boo. Mike Meyer, cheers to you as well, sir. Welcome in. Welcome in. Now that's going to stick in my head. Funny done. Very funny. Shoot, I'm just getting the pocket knife out. I'm just doing this the Swiss Army way. Maybe. Hopefully I don't cut myself on live. Wouldn't that be something? Maybe I'll tell the story sometime of how I had sliced my finger open during a graphic design class, which sounds stupid. I know. And that's because it is. It was a very dumb thing that happened to me. Donnie said there's a strip to pull. Took me a minute to find that. Joseph Brazo, the man, the myth, the legend, who actually sent me this bottle, is here. I'm going to be cracking the heck out of this. Greg Failer asked, is this distillery only? Yes, it is. This is an exclusive that was sent to me by Mr. Joseph Brazo. So, Joseph, buddy, this is for you. Oh, America. Satisfying. And I know it looks like this is a Perry pour, but it is a Baby Glen. So keep that in mind. I am basically only pouring about 1.5 ounces in this case. So, oh man, I'm excited for this. Let me tell you guys. Not only is it a 10-year Woodinville, not only is it their anniversary 10-year bourbon, but it's also bottled in bond. 100 proof. 100 proof. Oh, bottom bond bourbon. Okay. Here in my little Baby Glen, for size comparison, my head is not large. Do not adjust your screens. The Baby Glencairn is, in fact, a Baby Glencairn. So. It's a nice, kind of light caramel note in there. Some baking spices are kind of playing around in there too. It doesn't quite jump off immediately as being a 10-year-old product, but I am going to try to give it a little bit of air as well while we're talking about what all is going on. Chad Hawley said, there's a guy on Instagram that takes shots out of a Baby Glen. For the longest time, I thought he was the biggest badass on the internet. Then I realized it was a normal shot. Oh, Joseph said it's still 5 years. Oh. Well, if I could, do some reading. I don't know where I would have read that. So, okay. So it's a 5-year. It's not a 10-year, which I think makes sense because it doesn't quite have the depth that a 10-year would, but it's still quite the pleasant nose. Joseph Brazo, I want to say cheers to you, my friend. Apologies that you have to enjoy this stream from the comfort of lockdown, but everybody stay strong. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it together. Oh my. I might have just found a contender for a 2020 whiskey of the year. This could be in there. This could very well be in there. Holy smokes, that is delicious. I tell you, for 5 years, it's got a lot of body to it. I mean, it is deep. It is complex. It punches you right up front with some heat, but then it kind of mellows out into a gingerbread, not gingerbread, like a what am I thinking of? Like a shortbread cookie almost. There's some peanut brittle kind of tucked away in there too. It's a sweet bourbon, but it's layered really well with some spice and some some darker notes as well. And now Chad Hawley is ISO Woodinville. Welcome to the club, Chad Hawley. Oh man. Tucked away in the middle of that palate, it's like a chocolate covered orange. Because it's very citrusy, but it's also got that cocoa note to it. That is quite exceptional. This is, first off, Joseph, thank you. Goodness gracious, thank you so much for sending this early birthday present my way. Second off, the streak continues with Woodinville. Everything that I have had from them has been great. I've not had anything bad from them. They have continuously surprised me with the quality of their products. And this is just a fresh crack, too. I have no idea what this bottle is going to be like in a week, 2 weeks, a month. If it lasts that long, it's going to last that long. I'm going to take care of it. I mean, I guess everything's kind of on the table right now for the for consumption purposes. You know, I'm gonna get cravings. I know I'm gonna get cravings at some point once I'm assuming that at some point Kentucky's gonna go into lockdown. I feel like we're just like, maybe a week away, unless things keep up the way they are. I mean, we've got great leadership. We've got really good people who are just trying to take care of each other. And shoot, man, if we wind up quarantined, I'll be okay with it. I'll understand it. But at that point, I'm drinking whatever the heck I want. I'm drinking that Whistle Pig 15 year that I just looked at. I'm drinking Dusty Turkeys. Corner Creek? I don't want to drink Corner Creek. I mean, I probably will if I get desperate. Anyway, Joseph, thank you. People, go try Woodinville if you can. If you can find it. If you can get it shipped to you. Drink this whiskey. Drink these bourbons. They just do wonderful, wonderful work. Truly, they do. So, it either looks like I have a really tiny glass or I am a very big man. I can tell you, I am not a very big man. Very average. Dusty Turkey will forever be the right answer. Correct, Chad Hawley. Correct indeed. Joseph says the cast strength is dynamite. Having had some of the cast strength, can confirm the status of dynamite. Indeed. Trev Wilson said Barry is a very big man. Okay, thank you. Anyway. Don Nishida with the first super chat of the show. Thank you, Don. All the way to Hawaii. He said, cheers, and here's to better days to come. Cheers to you as well, my friend. Oh. Bottle and Bond. Bottle and Bond. They're doing it right. They're absolutely doing it right. Oh, my goodness. So I had a couple things I wanted to float past you guys. We discussed briefly on this week's episode doing a full recommendation bonus episode. Kind of give people our takes on what we've been enjoying, and while we endure, I think is where I was going with there. This strange time in the world. So is that something you guys would be interested in? Would you like to hear 30, 40 minutes of us just doing basically tips and bits? I think it'd be a lot of fun. Have there been any updates about the Wild Turkey Bottle and Bond? I have not heard anything, Clifton. I have not heard anything at all. Other than, the TTB label that got released or leaked or whatever you want to call it. So, Donnie says yes. Don says yes. Sure. we'll make it happen. Maybe a bonus episode next week, where we do all the recommendations and everything. I'm also just now realizing next week is April Fool's Day. I'm going to refrain from April Fool's Day this year. Doesn't feel like it's appropriate. I don't feel like there are good jokes to be made. I feel like everybody's already feeling like this is just a weird time. Chad says more episodes. Okay, we're gonna do more. I want to also throw this out there to you guys. I talked about it, I think, last week about doing kind of an isolation series. Where Zopher, take care, buddy. Good seeing you in here. Where we talk to listeners of the show or patrons of the show and record their thoughts and give them an opportunity to chat with us. So with that interest, you all, I know that some of you guys. Thanks, Dad. Dad's here, by the way. I know that some of you guys might not want to record or talk or anything, but we would love to have conversations with patrons or just talk about what's going on during the current situation and have some drinks together, have a kind of virtual happy hour as people are doing all across the world right now. I think that'd be a lot of fun. My family's kind of been doing that too, but we, of course, are not recording it and sharing it with anybody. So I would definitely enjoy doing that with you guys if you are interested. Joseph said, what this podcast needs is more nudity. Not from me. So, would you guys like to see us do something like that? Dad said we're going to do it again tomorrow. Okay, great. We're going to do that tomorrow. We need more cowbell. I have no cowbell. I have a guitar nearby. I'm also thinking, and this this is something I was thinking about on the drive back over here. I was leaving my father-in-law Brett's house, and I was thinking about, I want to play like a digital concert at some point. And I had a gig scheduled for April 9th, which is a Thursday. But I'm thinking maybe doing like a virtual show where I play some music. It would of course be not just I Jason said we could do social distancing in a jam session or a social distancing jam session. That would sound interesting. It would sound different. Chad said, Perry, did you see where Dave Matthews went live for a little mini concert at his house tonight? I did see that. I didn't have an opportunity to check it out, but I'm hoping I can watch the replay, of course. But so anyway, what I'm thinking is doing like a Joseph something about naked whiskey channels. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to you. Maybe that could be your, like, Joseph, you start a channel. Maybe that could be your thing. Maybe you could do naked whiskey reviews. And you stand up like you're behind a table, or like you come in from out of shot. You've got the bottle like yay, and you sit down first, and then you put the bottle on the table, and when you stand back up, you also put the bottle there, and then you leave. I think that'd be pretty funny. I think that would be different. I don't know if it would pass YouTube's code of conduct, but I think it'd be different. People would try to check that out. Jason said, "Just don't stand up." Yeah, that would be part of it. Yeah. Oh, Matt Porter, I love you. I love you. Anyway, so what I was thinking about doing is having doing like an hour, 30 minutes, whatever of a sorry, like 30 minutes or an hour or something of a like a digital show, and then kind of having like the post show or the after party or whatever over here where we drink some bourbon and hang out and chat, do whatever. It could be the same night as my normal live streams, could be a Thursday night, could be a, you know, Tuesday or Monday or maybe a Friday, maybe a Saturday. Could also be a Sunday or a Wednesday. So I don't know. We could talk about it. So we'll figure that out. I'd like to have something else to drink. No, not that. Not that. Y'all tell me, what should I Joseph quoted one of my favorite videos on the entire internet. One of my favorite videos. I'll post that later in the Facebook group, which is this my bourbon group, if you're not a part of it. You guys tell me, what should I drink? Lil, all the way from Brisbane, Australia, is here. Yes. Joseph doesn't wear the captain hat, though. Fair enough. Take care of yourself, though, Joseph. Donnie said, dusty old granddad? Do you mean this dusty old granddad? I'll go for the dusty old granddad at the moment. And then I'm going to stop saying dusty old granddad because it sounds horrible. Also, Bourbon Buddies, also welcome in, Bourbon Buddies. It said, drink it all. I cannot drink it all at the moment, but I will drink most of it. But I also had some calls for some Dusty Turkey, an old label ECBP. I don't have any old ECBP, unfortunately. Or something from Heaven Hill. It looks like a keeper. I'm going to have to hold on to some of it. It's getting low. So. Oh. Cigars. Name that reference. Very pleasant nose. Very, very pleasant nose. You know, they just don't make them like they used to. Donnie said, hopefully Fred will reach out to you. He asked for ideas, and I said, do a collaboration with Perry. I would love to do a collaboration with Fred Minnick. I love that man. Love that man. Dad got the reference, young Frankie. Chad said it might be a cigar type of weekend. It might. It might just. Chris, the partner of Lil, all the way from Brisbane, Australia, is also here. Hi, Chris. Mike just found his first old granddad bonded last week. He said he's halfway through it now. Good stuff. You know what I'll do? Since I had some dusty old granddad, since I had an early 2000s granddad, none of this sounds good. None of this sounds good. Since I had this bourbon that is called Old Granddad from the early 2000s, there. Now it doesn't sound so dumb and sound so awful. I will have some Old Granddad 114 next. There. Jeez. I can't freaking say anything anymore. Bloody PC police. Anyway. Aussie. Good stuff. That makes me laugh. Joseph said his day smoking is going way up. I haven't had a cigar since Whiskey Weekend. I could easily see myself having one here soon. Jason said, Old Granddad Bonded made it to the final four out of my 16 last night. Always does strong, especially when it opens up. Lilith loves a dusty old granddad. Brian wouldn't say no to some old granddad 114. Also, I'm just now realizing that I missed a PayPal super chat. Which, by the way, I cannot do super chats through YouTube. I have to do them through PayPal. Link for that is below in the description of this video. This one comes from Brian Brennicky. He said, "Love that you're back doing the streamy thingy." Me too, man. I'm happy to be here. Bourbon Buddy said, "Been freaking loving Four Roses Small Batch Select. Finally got it in Jersey." Wow. That was him saying, wow. Not me. I know most of you guys can read. Donnie put the link for the PayPal in the chat. Thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that, my friend. Very sweet of you. Maybe I should have gotten the Four Roses Small Batch Select. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to put a hurting on this old granddad 114 here soon, though. I'm just... good things. Pressman is here. Hello, Pressman. Said, "Hey, Perry, 114 and Bond on Bond are solid for the money. No, Siri, I wasn't talking to you." Dang, I'm Siri. And he also said cheers. Cheers, Pressman. This baby Glencairn needs to... Well, it makes me feel like it's a glass for ants. It needs to be at least 3 times that size. So I'm going to go back to my snifter. By the way, the reason I'm using a snifter and this this baby Glen is because we have a clog in our plumbing, and I haven't had the chance to do many dishes recently. So my Glencairns are dirty. Don't at me. Lil says, "It seems like Siri is listening in more these days." Yes, unfortunately. Bourbon Buddy said, "Makes your hands look big." Thanks. Joseph doesn't have PayPal. I do also have Venmo and the Square app or Cash app. Both are PRITT78. That's a great way for you all to do it. Granddad 114 time. Yes. Yes. Oh, I didn't like that. Let's do that again. Redo. Ah, much better. Joseph wants a Baby Yoda. Me too. I want to see the child. Let me see the Baby Yoda. I have this really funny thought about Werner Herzog, who is in The Mandalorian, and Steve A. Hello, Steve A. Too many overlapping streams. I apologize. It's going great so far. I just poured some old Granddad 114. Anyway, I have this hilarious idea of Werner Herzog calling The Mandalorian the Baby Yoda show because of how fascinated he is with the Baby Yoda puppet, and him just like coming off set and going for an interview and going, "Hello, I have just come. I've taken a break from doing the Baby Yoda show. Did you know that Baby Yoda? He is fascinating. What a great Yoda he is," or something like that. And like, I don't have the platform to do that, but I think that would be the funniest thing in the world to hear Werner Herzog calling The Mandalorian the Baby Yoda show. Gosh, it would just absolutely kill me. Joseph said, "I just started watching The Mandalorian, and all I can gather is that the first trilogy just threw up onto Disney Plus." I love The Mandalorian. I love that show so much. I might rewatch it 2 or 3 times during quarantine, during lockdown. I mean, I would be, and honestly, I'll probably wind up rewatching all of Star Wars. Honestly, I would be surprised if I didn't do that. Some nice deep coffee notes. With some hints of viscosity, I can tell. This is the way we're experiencing whiskey now. It's through the ears. Oh. If I could have this in like Elijah Craig barrel proof forever, and I'm sure I would throw in some other high proof stuff too, but like this is just one of my favorites, hands down. And I know that ADHD Whiskey just did a video on it, but dadgummit, so good. John Cranes is here. He says, howdy, everyone. Welcome. Joseph says, surely not all of Star Wars. Maybe episode 1, not episode 2. Definitely episode 3, 4 through 5. Excuse me, 4 through 6. And of course, 7, 8, 9. And Rogue One. And then whatever else I can get up to in terms of the TV shows. So, yes. Tammy can deal with 1 and 2 better than the last few. That is interesting. Very interesting. I cannot stand Attack of the Clones. I cannot stand it. Chad Holly said, I'm one of the few that enjoys the prequel 2000 Star Wars movies. Honestly, you know, it's a moot point by now, but the prequel trilogy are just hard to get through. Trev Wilson makes the point, though, that the lightsaber battles are simply beautiful in the prequel trilogy. I cannot deny that. I cannot deny that. Tammy's a closet Jar Jar fan. Bourbon Buddy said, $20.99 for Old Granddad in Denver? No, what's Delaware? Delaware. Yeah. At Creston Wine and Spirits. Best deal ever. Is it the Granddad Bottle and Bond? Because if so, or is it the Granddad 114? Because if it's the Granddad 114, that is pretty much the best deal ever. I mean, that's killer. Joseph said 4, 5, 6, and I'm done. And I'm gone. Fair enough. Fair enough. Delaware, and that's the 114. Yeah, I've it's been a while since I've had to do my state capitals or state abbreviations, rather. Pressman said, you covered the Star Wars. You covered the Star Wars questions I had. Fair enough. We did a Star Wars episode way back when. Chad and I recorded with Bill Sheehy from, he's now on the, what is the name of his show? Oh, Skywalking Through the League. Or Through the Galaxy? Through the League, I think. Sorry, Bill, if you're watching this. I apologize. I've had a couple of bourbons. We talked about Star Wars and the insanity that was episode 8. Good conversation. Great conversation. We actually reviewed Old Granddad 114 on that episode. I might redo that review sometime soon. I don't know. Trev Wilson said, Duel of the Fates between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul makes episode 1 tolerable. Watch the whole movie just for that scene. Fair enough. Chad Holly said, okay, fine. I'll binge watch all Star Wars now, right after I watch that stupid Tiger King show so I can understand all these memes. Here's the thing about the Tiger King show. OGs know about Joe Exotic. The man, the myth, the legend, Joe Exotic. If you have not watched any of his campaign videos from the 2016 election, you need to get on it, because it's one of the funniest things in the entire world. He is just, and I don't know if it's in the show or not, but Yeah, it's very, very funny. Joseph said, my hand somehow looks smaller now. Better? Greg said, saw Granddad 114 for $27 while visiting Indy a couple weeks ago. Grabbed 3. Good choice, my friend. Dave from Rarebird 101 is in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Rarebird 101, who is also the man, the myth, the legend. Chris said, did you see the revamp of Vader versus Obi-Wan lightsaber battle that a fan did? I did, and it's amazing. It is so good. Eric Evanson, welcome in, Eric Evanson. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before. He said, have I had the Russell's Reserve single barrel? Yes, I have. And I quite love it. Quite love it. It's very good. Good? Good is what I said. Pressman said, I haven't watched the last 3 Star Wars movies. I'll check them out. I'm out of work temporarily. Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. I know it's tough times on everybody. Lots of welcomes to Rarebird, who just said, be right back. Fair enough. BRB. Bourbon Buddy said, Joe Exotic is insane. Can't stop watching. Like a train wreck you can't look away from. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He is very... He's very funny. I love that man exists in this world. Steve A said, I'm still here, just not really watching chat. Can only really watch one chat at a time. Sorry, man. Dave is getting more love from you guys. Eric said, so it meets the hype? I would say yes. I would say it does, Eric. Yeah. Joseph, I like that question a lot. And I don't know how to answer it other than, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I am not a Star Wars scientist. Steve said, just not your fault. There's odd scheduling tonight. Yes, it is very odd scheduling. I know that Mark Gillespie from Whiskey Cast also went live tonight. Couldn't have been helped. I've met Mark once. Super, super nice guy. But also, he's been doing this forever. So I'm a booger flick on the wall in terms of who he's aware of. Just rechecking. Oh, hello. I missed a super chat from from Tammy Bernicki, who said the baby Glenn won't work well for a naked channel. Just saying, baby. Cheers to you, Tammy. Also, yes, everybody go check out Clifton's stream right after mine. I'm going to wrap up. Had a bubble in my throat. I'm going to wrap up here in about 15 minutes or so, and then we're all going to go over and watch Clifton do his live stream as well. I have no idea what he's doing, but I'm sure it's awesome. Pressman said Russell's Reserve is a great pour. Yes, it is. Store picks are definitely where it's at, I would say. Bourbon Blind is live tonight at 9:30 Central, or maybe 9 Central. Holy moly. Goodness gracious, there are a lot of people going live tonight. Maybe I need to not do a Thursday night live. Maybe I need to do another night. Golly. Sorry. Dad's headed out. Says, love y'all. Gonna tap out. Love you too. Pressman said, I'm a Wild Turkey fan. Same here. Let's see what Chris said. Chris Tats said, so Jack Rose has nearly sold out of their 2,700 bottles of whiskey on their shelves. They will be using the time to paint and freshen up the bar with no bottles. Holy crap. Chris, when you get that picture, please send that to me. We got a super chat from Greg Failer. Greg said, hope the tours get rolling again soon. Me too, my friend. I really hope so. Clifton's doing a blind rye flight. Awesome. That is great. I can't wait to watch that, man. 75 minutes on the bourbon blind timer. Care the one. So yeah, 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern. I'm not going to do the rest of them. You guys figure that out. Oh well, Trev Wilson's already done the math for me. Thank you, Trev. 9:30 Central. So all I have to do is just rely on the handsome and gifted and talented man that is one of our moderators, Trev Wilson. I also want to give a shout out to everybody else who is in here with a blue wrench next to your name. Donnie, the Linux Cat, thank you. Steve A, also, thank you so much. Swan is not in here, unfortunately, tonight, but Swan is doing his part. Swan went back to work for a company he used to work for in the time of need, and he's still gonna be doing stuff for the with the show, of course. But tonight he just had to tap out, which is okay, unless he's been lurking here and I don't know. Bourbon Buddy said Trev Wilson is a beautiful beast. He is one handsome man. Happy for Swan indeed. Oh yeah, hit the like button. Forgot about that. If you haven't subscribed already, also do that. Bell notification, yada yada yada. Everybody knows how this goes. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of being a YouTuber because everybody has heard the same spiel 800,000 million billion trillion times. Somebody going, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video, and hit the bell notification, and leave a comment if you want to. Now. Like I get it. It's just I know that we need to be doing that, and like I intend to do. I'm gonna do that at the end of the video, at the end of the stream. But it's like it's such a worn out trope at this point of YouTubers. But that's just part of it. I mean, like. And I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a podcaster, but at the same time, I like doing these live streams. I think it's a great way to kind of chat with you guys and be able to hang out another day during the week. But like, can we just like copy and paste one video or one clip of like, shoot, I don't know, Steve Buscemi, like saying all of that so that we don't have to keep saying hit the like and subscribe and all that. Bill Robarge, who is one of the good friends of the show and also a patron, if you're not a patron of the show, and here we go again. Here's one of the typical ways that we promote the show. Patreon.com/podcast, where you can become a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month. It helps keep the lights on. You get exclusive content, all that. Joseph Brazo said, why don't you tell us where you can find on social media? At My Bourbon Pod is where you can find us on social media. Tammy said, you, my friend, are definitely essential. Appreciate you. Bill, rather, said, I'm watching on my TV and iPhone, or phone, rather, so I can see the comments. Thank you. Chad said, do podcasters get offended when you call them YouTubers? I think it's actually the reverse. I think that YouTubers get offended when you call them podcasters. I don't care. I'm not a YouTuber. I just I'm just here. I do things on YouTube. I do live streams on YouTube. My episodes every week go to YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber necessarily. I have plans to make YouTube content. I don't know what that's going to look like right now. It could be weekly, it could be monthly, it could be bi-weekly, it could be whatever. But I'm not a YouTuber. And I don't care. I mean, if you call me a YouTuber, even though I'm a podcaster, I don't care. That doesn't bother me. But I do know. I know of one of at least one person in particular when because they're a YouTuber, when they get called a podcaster or a podcast, they get a little bit upset over it, and it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh a lot. But it's only because I love that person, and you could maybe infer things based on what I'm saying. Tammy said maybe record and play while drinking. Oh, that would be great. I could totally do that. Yes. Joseph said, did you get my Patreon message? I did. And thank you. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you. I haven't had a chance to respond to it. But yes, I go both ways. Yeah, sure. Why not? Whatever. Bill said, just don't call you a millennial. I'm a millennial. I don't care. I am. I was born in that era. That's my generation. I'm talking about my generation. Brian caught it. Call him a podcaster on Sunday and see what you can gain from that. Yes. Oh, yes, Don. Yes, Don, indeed. And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh every single time that he gets called a podcaster, or that sometimes somebody will go like, have you checked out their podcast yet? And I just lose it, because I and it's not even me being mean and going like, oh, you're an idiot. Like, it's not that at all. I don't care. I mean, I know that people don't have the same language for things like that. But what kills me is their reaction. And that is what is so spectacular to me, is just seeing the blood boiling a little bit underneath as they realize that people just don't get it. And it just makes me laugh. And I kind of get the same way too when people like and it's not like, I get called a radio broadcaster or whatever, but there have been times where, they don't exactly call it a podcast or call me a podcaster, I guess. And I have to immediately step back. I have to immediately go, not touching it, not doing it. This person doesn't know. What else am I supposed to do? And it just like like there is a split second where I'm like, but once I calm down and once I go to the safe mindset of, it's okay. Not everybody understands things. Not everybody knows the same things. Then it's like, dadgummit, that is really good. That is really good. Oh, man. Brian said he'll know I'm messing with him, though. Yes. Joseph is at the tail end of boomers. Okay, boomer. Rarebird 101 is back. Hello, Dave. There's too many Dons in here, which is something I never thought I would say. Bill said, do you think you and the dudes would do an Instagram live video? Us who? Dudes who? Do you mean them? You mean the channel that I was just alluding to earlier? Do you mean the podcast? Or Bourbon Buddies? Or who are we talking about here? I'm open to all of those things. I don't care. I want to do all of them. That'd be great. Chad said, I asked that question just being funny. Didn't expect it to actually be a thing, but he loves it. Fair enough. Fair enough, indeed. Joseph said, we boomers are the best and the worst. Best because we own everything, and worst because we're it up for the rest of you. Swanee and that other guy. Oh, Curtis. Okay, I got you now. Sorry, Bill. Yeah, we actually had kind of planned to do a live tonight with all three of us. It would have been remote, of course, like we were doing the episode this week, and we'll do for a little while. I didn't say it. Yeah, I didn't say it. But anyway, we were kind of planning on trying to do that, but it just didn't work out. With Swan going back to his old job during the crisis time, which, by the way, Swan is doing something awesome by taking on that role and seeing that people needed help. So Curtis now has a new drunk name. That other guy. Yes. I love it. Lil said, I don't think I ever heard Perry swear. That's because I don't. I legitimately don't. Like, it's just it's just not something that's in my vernacular. I don't care if other people do. I think it's very funny when other people do. And it's one of those sentence enhancers. You know what I mean? Like I think it's funny when other people use it, especially in the right context. But I'm just I don't I don't I don't I don't. So that's it. Um, are you a YouTuber? No, I'm a comedian. Bert Kreischer. Funny. The MSG of words. Something about that sounds negative, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but yeah. Um, Rarebird 101 says coronavirus issues for the book. Well, that's unfortunate. Joseph said next $10 super chat, Perry has to swear. What I mean, I guess fine. I'm not like again, I'm not like against it. It's just like I don't I just don't use it. It's not in my sentence enhancer, flavor enhancer. There we go. Bill said Russell's tenure is a staple in his house. Um, this daggone bottle of bourbon is like it surprised the heck out of me. I don't know, Dave, if you have listened to the episode that we did a few weeks ago, um, but I forgot how good this bottle was, or I didn't realize how good this bottle was until I revisited it, and I think I mean, oh shoot, I can't even remember what I gave it. I gave it really high marks though. So, um, Dave, go listen and remind me, please. Yeah. Brian said, I just finished off my last store pick from where Swan went back to. I missed that bottle. Yes. Donnie said, if Perry were to swear, he'd sound like Ned Flanders. I don't know if I can if I can say that it wouldn't be like that. Anyway, all right. We got to wrap this up because we have to hop over to Clifton's stream as well. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. What's a 3-letter word for donkey? It's an ass. I mean, that's not swearing. That's what it's called, I guess. I don't know. I want to. Why did I bring this up? Why did I entertain this notion? Whatever. It's fine. I love you guys. Thank you all so much for watching tonight's live stream. Super happy to be back and doing these. This is so much fun. More to come next week. We're going to try to get some quarantine guests in as well. Like I said, I was kind of hoping that Curtis and Swan were going to join us tonight and just didn't work out. Next week, I would really like to have Matt and Will, or Will and the Grease, however you want to call them, from the podcast con. That's my goal. That is my goal. So we'll see. Follow the socials at My Bourbon Pod. You can become a patron, patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. If you want to send donations for the show as well, PayPal links are below. Everything is in the description below if you want to find more information about it. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. Love you all. We will see you next week. But until then, I'm Perry, and this is My Bourbon Podcast live stream on YouTube. I need to really work on that. I got to tighten that up a little bit. Okay, that's it. Bye, guys.